Hello everybody, we are live. My name is Bahzad.
My name is Risha.
And we are here from the Naked and Famous Denim Raw Denim live stream, the greatest live stream in the history of all internet live streams, and we're here today to talk to you about all things denim related. We're broadcasting live from Yokohama, Japan to give you all the raw denim news that you can use. Let us know where you are tuning in from, and before we get into anything, hit the like button. Let's get those likes up. Let's make sure that everybody in the raw denim world knows that this live stream is going on right now, broadcasting live on the internet. Risa, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's a sunny day. I feel good, even though very sleepy.
Yeah, very sleepy. We were up late last night because we had the release of the MIJ 12. So we'll talk a little bit about that. The Aomidori, it's the latest release from Naked and Famous Denim. I'm sure many of these other people here in the chat were also up late. But it turns out that we release things in the morning in the West. So probably not up so late to get that release. Right. But we're up late to make sure that you guys get everything at a reasonable time during the day. You don't have to wait for midnight releases.
I mean, we also kind of discussed in this live stream about the possibility of releasing some things at night. But people didn't like that idea, I guess.
Yeah, right. Thursday nights. That's still up for debate. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that today. Is a Thursday evening better than a Friday morning? It's better for our warehouse, I'll tell you that much. And it gets you the product quicker.
Yeah, but just to give you some insights that, if you place an order on Friday morning at 11, that order will not leave. The earliest it will leave the warehouse will be Monday.
Yeah.
But because we don't pick on Friday, the day of.
Yeah. We'll process the previous day's orders.
Yeah, just to give you a little buffer.
Yeah. In case there's any customer service issues that need to be addressed.
But if we do the release on Thursday night, we can process the order on Friday morning and get it out of our warehouse on Friday. Not everything is going to go out on that same day, but some people can get it, which we thought might be better.
Yeah.
To get it early because it doesn't go over the weekends.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Anyhow, we'll touch base with you guys again. Maybe you'll share some opinions about this in the comments section later on, or maybe here in the live chat. We want to hear from you because this is why we do these live streams, to make sure that we are staying connected to the greatest raw denim community in the entire world. Now, let's check in with the chat. Speaking of the community, let's check in with the chat, see where everybody is tuning in from. We've got Joey Decay. Shoot, I gotta hurry up and mow the lawn. My new Frontier Aero Fit. Don't judge, we don't judge. Jeans are jeans, my friend. I like a higher rise, slim, straight fit. I did go up a size to achieve the rise. Belt loops are smaller, though. Yeah, when you wear, there are some design elements on a lady's jean that are a little bit different than a men's jean. But if you could work within that, jeans are jeans. I used to wear girls' jeans in high school because I couldn't find a flared jean that fit my slender silhouette at the time.
I mean, the obviously the size range is different, but if that you fit within that, women can wear men's jeans, men can wear women's jeans. Just an indication. Like on women's jeans, we most of the time we have zip fly. If you don't like button fly, you have an option.
And the leather patch is usually smaller. So if you prefer the styling of a men's jean and you get a ladies jean, you can do a patch swap.
Yes.
So you can just request that and pick the patch of your choice, and we can do that for you at Tate and Yoko. So any other styling tips for men in ladies jeans or vice versa? Let's hear from you guys. BD, the producer, is here. Good to see you, my friend. Hello, everybody. Need to pop out and hopefully make it back to catch some live. My big question is, pants have to come. My big cue is pants have to come off for a restroom visit. How many buttons are being undone? That's a good question.
That's actually a good question because I was actually thinking about that when we were talking about this zip fly thing just a minute ago. Because I'm, as everybody knows by now, I'm wearing Bahzad's Strong Guy these days, and the only thing I really don't like about it is the button fly.
As a lady, are you speaking for all ladies or just personally?
No, just personally.
Okay.
It's just not great, and sometimes it just goes brrr and take out all the buttons.
That's
and
great. That's what I want.
No, but then like I was just like, oh, I gotta do all like 5 buttons, I guess.
Yeah, it takes just a second.
Whereas like when I want to take off just 2 or 3, so I only have to do up 2 or 3.
I see. I get it. I'm in as a man. I'm speaking for all men as people do these days. I want the flexibility and freedom that a button fly offers over a zip fly, and the security that a button fly offers over a zip fly. The button fly tears open easy. You just pull, everything pops open.
But I feel less secure because of that.
I don't. I feel more secure.
Really?
Yeah, I get to the action quicker. Quicker, and sometimes you gotta go.
Yeah.
So quick action, and when you're doing it up, it just takes a second, and there's no worry about having a something about Mary moment, which can be quite traumatic if it's ever happened to you before.
Yeah, but zip fly will not pop off for accidentally.
I don't need any metal teeth in that region.
Metal teeth is the system that makes sure that it's...
I've never had an accident, thank God. No accidents, no unexpected openings. Zip fly, sometimes those things fall down. I don't know what happens. People are like, your fly is down. And that's always a zip fly. It's always a zip fly, never a button fly.
I think that's true because when it's a button fly, it's harder to see if it's open or if it's just lifting a little.
The security that a button fly provides, in my opinion, is superior to a zip fly.
I don't know. I get frustrated after.
I understand.
You have to do it up.
You'll get there. You'll get there. I think you'll come to appreciate the safety and security that a button fly provides. I'm not knocking zips. Secure. I like zips. I like zips in appropriate positions and locations. But my preference for jeans is the button fly. And everybody in the chat, you guys know our wonderful cat Snowy. He likes to be in video these days. I think he's come to realize that when we are in front of a camera, he has a high potential for getting an extra snack, because whenever we're shooting like a product video, we're setting up the room, we're setting up the camera, he knows to meow and just be annoying, and then we're like, okay, we'll give you a snack, and then he kind of calms down.
My theory is that he just wants attention. So
this is
if
also
we're
true.
paying attention to something here, he has to be right here.
Yeah. Well, either way, his presence is always welcome. But you did notice him in 2 videos recently because he just cannot resist being in front of this camera. He likes to be here. So welcome Snowy to the chat, everybody. Okay, let's check in again with the chat room. Okay, if I missed your question, definitely ask it again because I'm happy to go over it. Cheddar Buttersworth, hello from Vancouver. Killing my feet trying to break in a pair of loafers before I go on vacation. I know the feeling. Shang Sao, morning from Sydney, Australia. Doing the King of Slub 1 today with lower rise, weird guy fits. Very older King of Slub. Less buttons to do up and actually more comfy around the stomach when sitting. This is the benefit of the button of the lower rise.
Yeah.
Yeah. The higher rise I think is sometimes more comfortable just day to day wearing, but when you sit down, the higher rise can sometimes be a little bit digging into your body. So the lower rise does come into play quite well there. Sometimes I gotta undo that top button when you sit down. Snowy, do you want to sit down? We don't know. We'll find out. Okay. We've got Salvi Jardin ordered my MIJ 12 jacket and easy guy. Thank you. You are welcome, my friend.
Thank you.
Diego Ramos snagged a pair of MIJ 12s. This is my first pair of Naked Famous jeans. Really looking forward to seeing how these fade, especially since they're my first slubby jeans. If you want to get a micro preview of how those jeans are going to fade, check out the last episode of This Week at Tate and Yoko. Garrett is wearing his MIJ 12 jacket. He threw his in the wash, and that actually brought out a lot of color from the denim just after one wash. You know, he wore it, I think, for a couple weeks, threw it in the wash, brought out tons of color. So get a micro preview of that. But of course, the boys there will be they're going to be thrashing their MIJ 12. So you're gonna be able to keep up with some fade progress on that denim. The Raven, hello from SoCal, wearing my Josuke Selvedge like always. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome to the chat. Jeremy Didson, St. Louis is checking in. Brenton Healy, wearing my full MIJ 12, watching from Toronto. Good to see you. MIJ 12 from Toronto. Where let us know where you got those. In the Toronto, was it that, I think Gerhard Supply, maybe you picked it up there. The Raven, yo hipster Bahzad making his guest appearance. This is Professor Bahzad with the glasses. Mick writes, hello from DC, I got the MIJ 12s in Easy Guy. My first time getting a different fit from my usual Super Guy. Well, I think you're going to enjoy them a lot. You're going to have a little bit more room in the thigh and the rise with the Easy Guy, but you have that same leg opening at the bottom, so it won't feel too unfamiliar for you. Okay, Topher Cobra, greetings from sunny California. A lot of people checking in, letting us know that they picked up their MIJ 12s. Arif, hello from Chicago, wearing my Elephant 12 Weird Guys, 145 wears, one wash. Picked up a pair of MIJ 12 Weird Guys from James Dant. Debated between the True Guys, but ultimately went with wanted the micro Selvedge. That's right. The True Guy had the regular Selvedge outseam. Compared to the rest of the collection. The next True Guy batch from MIJ should have the micro. I think there's
MIJ 10 is already in
production, so maybe not even.
I don't think it got fixed before then.
Okay, so anyway, we'll keep you posted on that one. Okay. Stephen Koblkamp speaking about releases. I'm fine with Thursday night as long as I get advanced notice. All right, good point. Canadian Penny, read the Wonder Looper email this morning saying that Japanese mills are becoming choosier about which companies they work with. Is Naked and Famous also finding that, and did it make the grade? For the knitting mills, it's a little bit so in the Wonder Looper newsletter, I wrote about how some of the knitting mills here, especially for Tsuriami production, are becoming a little bit choosier in terms of who they are working with going forward, and even now.
Scuttlebutt. I mean, it's just one of those things people talk about.
Right. Yeah. So the idea is that there's a lot of transient production that goes on, not just in the knit world, but even in the denim world. You have a company that comes in, maybe makes something for one season, takes up some production space, and then they're gone, and they don't see them again for maybe seasons or years. But because the production space is so limited, and there are companies that are doing consistent production, and the companies that require consistent production sometimes get squeezed out because maybe a large player comes in, wants to do something for one season, and then they're gone. Yeah. And it kind of screws over that consistent customer.
Especially if they're doing, maybe a core program where you always have it in stock, but, lead time is usually this much, and then all of a sudden lead time doubled because somebody took up the space. Then you're messing with the existing customer who's probably going to be there for the next few, years and decades maybe. So they don't really want to screw them over.
Yeah.
And, it's just, I'm sure it's a hard business decision for them.
Right. So that's what's going on now. As far as denim is concerned, I would say that denim production, it doesn't get messed around with too much by transient players. The only time things kind of get a little bit messy is when a very, very, very large company comes in and decides that they want to make some Selvedge denim in Japan. And that the problem with that is that company is so big and that order is so big, even though it's going to be transient, maybe 1 or 2 seasons, that it's hard for a mill to say no to that business. So that's where in the denim world things tend to get a little bit dicey.
Yeah. Because I think with the denim world, the
production speed is faster than Tsuriami knitting, for one.
Yes, but also the mills have, stock running things. And if you're a transient customer, you can just kind of get in on like whatever they have in stock and, or they're going to have it in stock. So you can just like, okay, we just take, from here. Whereas with knitting, there's a lot of obviously there's like mills that have a stock of certain things, but a lot of the mills that specializes in like certain kinds of knits, like especially the Tsuriami Mills that we have left in this country, they're not interested in doing a ton of stock program because that doesn't make sense to them. So that's kind of why I think it's a little bit more sensitive to that kind of transient brands in the knitting Tsuriami especially world.
With the denim production, again, sometimes the transient customer, they're not very particular about which Japanese denim they get.
Yeah, so, as long as it's Selvedge.
Yeah, and they can say it's Japanese denim, they're happy, right? They're like, oh, what do you got in stock, ready to go?
Yeah.
Here, we'll order it. But with the Tsuriami knitting, there's a lot of custom work there because the people who are making it, there are running fabrics, but for things like what we do with Wonder Looper, it's made to order. And I would also imagine with some of the higher profile customers, they're also using made to order fabrics. So there's not a lot of in stock, and there's not it in that way. It's like you're going to get a very basic fabric, but anything that's special, the one season hit is it's a lot of work for them because they have to develop it. And, the business isn't guaranteed long term. So you might as well not screw over your long-term customer and focus on their production because that business is essentially guaranteed.
In short, we're not too worried about it.
Yeah.
But, it's
just what goes on in the production world. But yeah, it is interesting to know. And sometimes also who's buying what. The thing is, like, I'm sure because we hear the rumors of like, oh, this company's doing that and this company's doing this. And I'm sure, when we're not there, they're like, oh, Naked Famous doing this. There's a little bit of
yeah.
There's chatter. People
talk.
But yeah, it is, among our, is compatriots the right word? I don't know. People who are using the same mills and things like that, it's kind of impressive to see like the level of brand that is using these kinds of fabrics. And like, it's not they're generally pretty like up market, very up market these days that are coming to Japan to like buy fabric. So, mind you, their prices, for the prices you pay for those products, they should be using, the best fabric around. So it's good that they're doing that. But yeah, it's like we charge this for our jeans, and yeah, their price points are in outer space.
Yeah.
Right. Christian Cox, hello from Brooklyn. Just got stuck on the subway for half an hour, but wearing my left hand tool strong, guys. Nice. Live strong. Good. Stay protected in the New York City subway system in your strong guy left hand tool, so keep you protected. Poor Pro writes, been wearing my Jason Selvedge since WrestleMania. It's time to swap them out. Methinks, is it getting too hot out there where you're from? Or instead, he's like going to put on some MIJ 13s. There you go.
I like that timeline is just marked with WrestleMania. Yeah. It's not like the month.
Right. Just which WWE pay-per-view can we circle around? Jeremy did sit and grabbed a True Guy MIJ 12 without embroidery and noticed the MIJ 13 was back in stock in True Guys as well. Did you find some pairs in the warehouse? Probably. Mm-hmm. If you find random stuff showing up on Tate and Yoko, it's usually a warehouse find. Something maybe got returned or something.
But sometimes we hold it for a certain customer that doesn't get back to us in time, and it's like, okay, fine.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing. We do have wholesale customers, as you guys know, and not everyone takes everything they order.
Unfortunately.
It could be for a multitude of reasons. These reasons are as any business would expect these kinds of things to happen. So that happens, and when at a certain point we can't hold those goods anymore, and they become up for grabs for Tate and Yoko. So just as a reminder, let's go over to Tate and Yoko right now. Let's see what we got here. MIJ 12 just came out today, the Aomidori Selvedge. So check that out. You can secure your pair here. Looks like we have sizes available. I did a better job of production planning for the last, I would say 18 months have been difficult in that sense, because generally I try to keep inventory for about a year. I want to have a year's worth of inventory, and in some cases you guys blow us out in a month or in a weekend, and it's I don't know how to predict some of these things, because I don't want to overbuy, I don't want to underbuy, I want to make sure anybody can get anything they need. So it's a tough balance, but lately I think I've been doing a much better job. If you shouldn't struggle too hard to get something, we're really trying to keep stock available for you. Of course, if you definitely want to secure your pair, you get it on release day, release weekend, that sort of thing. You're gonna get your pair for sure. But we've been doing a good job of stocking things up. So get your MIJ 12s available today at Tate and Yoko, and of course a variety of Naked and Famous Denim retailers. But I wanted to talk to you guys about, let's go to here, let's find an item that's been out for a little bit, or the pure hemp. We didn't have too much, to be fair, we didn't have too much of this fabric to start with. I think I let you guys know that right from the start. But if there is ever something you're looking for that you're hoping might show up again, this is what you do. You find the item that you're interested in. Unfortunately, size 34 is sold out. But when something is sold out on Tate and Yoko and Naked Famous Denim NYC, you're going to get this little button that pops up that says email when available. So just press that button, put your information in here, and we will send you an email to notify you when the product is back in stock. So do it. Even if you think there's no chance, just do it. Just put it in there, and you never know. Stuff pops up all the time. Stuff that you might have thought was sold out for months or even years. Sometimes things just pop up. A random box gets found in the warehouse. Somebody was supposed to restock something. They put away 12 boxes. There was 13. That one box got buried under a bunch of other boxes. Sits there for a while, and something eventually shows up. So you never know. Just throw your name into the hat, and maybe you'll get it. If it's a core item, obviously it's more likely to come back than not. But seasonal stuff, just throw your name in there, and chances are,
it's not gonna cost you anything.
Costs you nothing. It's free. It's free to do. Okay. Canadian Penny. Is there a story behind the charcoal selvage that appeared on the website a few weeks ago? Yeah.
Just random finds.
Random finds. We got a big warehouse. This week at Tate and Yoko, I should get them to do a bigger factory tour. But yeah, we have a very, very large warehouse.
And it's not for the size and like how it spreads in different floors, different parts of the building. We don't have it, computerized or organized so well.
It's all brain computer.
So, over the 15 years of us being business, things do get buried. And, now, like, I think they're doing a better job of finding things because there's more, people and there's, maybe they're more interested in finding treasures because it does get fun. I think it's kind of like a treasure hunt. Mm-hmm. But, so I like that in the past maybe year or so, like, we've been finding a lot of random old stuff.
Yeah.
And, I just have to bring it back from the dead, basically.
She's resurrecting jeans.
Yeah.
So, that's it. It's kind of like with the hologram jackets. Those kind of showed up. So things pop up. We try to be organized. But, the world isn't perfect. That's okay. Yeah. But eventually things get sorted out. Shane Style writes, so with the yen very low, lots of foreign companies want to use Japanese factories and mills.
There's, like we don't produce a lot of raw materials, especially cotton in this country. So yen is lower. The labor cost in, mills are cheaper. For the people in the West now, but the material cost is higher for us, for Japan. So at the end of the day, it's not like you're getting a steal. Everything has to be taken into consideration.
Yeah, if they're buying, Japan typically imports more premium cottons. So if you're buying from America or Australia, things like that, they're still having to pay those foreign prices. So raw material prices go up in Japanese yen. So it doesn't, I don't think you get much, right? Like Risa said, there's not many deals to be found here.
Yeah, and another thing is that currency is such, a volatile thing sometimes. Well, like we've been in, the Japanese yen has been pretty cheap for a while now, but depending on the mills, they either deal with you in US dollars. In that case, they don't want to take risks. They don't want to, set on the price because it takes months to produce things. Mm-hmm. Like they don't want to agree to a price now all in US dollars that down the line you might lose money on. So they're a little bit more conservative that way. And if you are, dealing with them in Japanese yen, then, you don't know what's going to happen as a brand down the line, 6 months from now when they have to pay. So, like, one of the parties have to take a risk, and, most of the business don't really want to take a risk, big risk. So,
there you have it. Mm-hmm. Okay. There was a question here. Jeremy Didson, speaking of New York City, the guys in Canada can get a New York City exclusive pair, but we can't. Can I buy a pair from the New York City store? I need that pair that Vinny had on. So, one of the benefits, one of the many small perks you get at Naked and Famous Denim when you work for us is that you get access to anything we make. So, if you want to have that kind of insider access, come and work for us. Yeah. You'll get all kinds of things that. You'll get samples. You get stuff that we never even made. There's all kinds of cool stuff that you can get. Mm-hmm. But speaking of the New York City pair, Vinny in this week at Tate and Yoko revealed a little sly move in there. He revealed the Empire State 2. So the new New York City exclusive jean. It's the blacked out edition of the Empire State Selvedge. So I believe 12.5 ounce weight Supima cotton broken twill Japanese selvage denim. originally in indigo, now coming in all black. We sell a lot of black jeans from our New York City store. A lot. It is actually pretty nuts. Like every week we do our weekly meeting. We talk about what's selling the most, and like at least 2 or 3 of the top 5 selling styles in the store are black jeans. So we knew we had to make a black jean.
It is a city of black outfits.
Yeah. So Empire State 2 is coming. We're gonna drop those in July. They will be available in store only, in store exclusive in July. Going to be available when Risa, I, Brandon, and possibly Garrett come to New York to show off the spring summer 25 collection. We'll do an event. We'll do a little launch. You'll be able to get the jeans in store. You can come and preview the spring summer 25 collection in person. You can see it. You can take photos, whatever you want. So we're gonna have we'll do a little meet and greet there, like we did the last time we were in town. Of course, we'll give you some information, advance notice. What days are we in New York?
Somewhere around the 20th.
Yeah, somewhere around the 20th. Hold on, we'll take a quick little look here. So yeah, it's like no, it's like 15, 16, 17, 18, around there.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. That was June in Paris.
Yeah. So 15, 16, 17, 18, around that time, we will do an in-store event, and we will be in-store, maybe not on the 15th, but on the 16th, 17th, 18th, we'll be in-store all day. So you'll be able to see us there, and one of those days we'll do an event. So we'll launch the jeans then and there, and you're going to be able to get the brand new Empire State Selvedge Blacked Out Edition.
I still haven't seen it in person. So.
I haven't seen it in person yet either, but
so I'm excited.
The fabric I know is fantastic because we've certainly seen the first one, but it's an all black affair.
I wonder just how much like you can tell that it's broken twill when it's
all black.
Yeah.
So anyhow, we'll find out maybe at the same time they find out, because the next time we're going to see it is when we arrive in New York. Okay. Let's see. Galactic Moonshine writes, what kind of glasses are these? These are from a brand called Effector. I don't know if it's going to zoom in on that. There you go. So Effector. This is a Japanese-made brand, and this model is called Dirt. So if you like these, go and find them on the internet. They're not. I think they're very well priced for a made in Japan glasses.
It feels very high quality.
Yeah,
when you hold it.
They're hefty. That's for sure. They have a nice weight to them. Now that could maybe be a good thing or a bad thing depending on who you are. I tend to like things that have a little bit of heft to them. So check them out. I do like these. I think I'm going to get another pair relatively soon. Christian Cox says, I will be there, and I will be happy to see you there, my friend. What else do we have? Just there's a lot of questions. Thank you, everybody. And if I miss it and you really want me to answer it, be sure to spam it, and I'll do my best to get to it. The Catman, already getting hot and humid here in North Carolina, but I'm loving rocking the Ecru all naturals here. Super guy, but one size up from my normal to get a little bit of looseness to help with the heat. Big pro tip is to wear things just a little bit looser here in the summertime. You know, sometimes we're very fixated on the measurement numbers. You know, is this exactly going to be the right fit? Get it a little bigger. Every now and then, not just every now and then, all the time, people, I'm between sizes. What do I get? Get the bigger one.
I mean, if you're actually in between sizes, you cannot get the smaller size because I'm guessing you're not gonna like shrink in the next, week to fit in those. So always, choose bigger. But you're right on the size. I would recommend to go a size bigger also. Either way, it's just you might be able to fit in that perfect fit, but once you're there, you cannot get bigger. You just so little room for your body to change. But sometimes there's a delicious meal waiting for you. Or sometimes there's going to be Thanksgiving coming up. And what are you going to do?
Yeah. What are you going to do? Okay, another size question. Sam Wang writes, should I size up for my normal size when ordering Wonder Looper t-shirts?
The normal size, forget that concept.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as a normal size.
Yeah.
We tend to, like our sizing is not a typical Japanese sizing. It's more similar to a typical American sizing.
Yeah.
But depending on the brand, every brand is different. I cannot tell you what your experience has been.
Yeah.
So always look at the measurements, even if it's for t-shirts. T-shirts are a little bit easier.
They're a lot easier because it's really just the chest, and you should be good.
Yeah.
That said, if you generally wear a medium, you're probably gonna be a medium in ours.
Yeah.
But measure.
Yeah. Just measure and look at it. You can start looking at it from the medium, but make sure you're in the right range.
Also with t-shirts, I find one size up. It's never so big that it looks weird on you.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true. Yeah.
So if you're not sure, you're buying online, especially a t-shirt, even a dress shirt, like one of our easy shirts or something like that. If you're like, maybe medium, maybe I'll get the large. You'll be fine. Like, it's such a casual shirt. Wearing it a little bit oversized is, especially in the spring, summer, it's going to be fantastic. Roll up the sleeves. Just enjoy it very casually. So when in doubt, get the bigger size. Don't get 3 sizes up and hope that it's going to be, the right fit. But one size up is not going to hurt anybody. And in fact, it'll probably be the right decision in the end. Because if it's a little big, okay, now for next time that, the one size a little bit higher is a little big for you. So maybe consider the smaller one next time. But it won't be so big that it's unwearable.
And just to clarify, when he says one size up from the measurement size, not like your general size that whatever brand that you buy from. That's not what we're saying. One size up from what you think is a perfect measurement might be helpful.
Yeah. I hope that all makes sense. Linus So writes, hi guys, love your show, love your company. Well, thank you very much, and thanks for tuning in. Just ordered my MIJ 12s. Question, how does the MIJ 12 compare to the MIJ 3? I know both are green cast, but curious about the differences. Thank you. Great question. MIJ 3 is a little bit greener right off the bat, whereas the MIJ 12 is a little bit more indigo right off the bat.
Darker. The 3 was a lot lighter in shades too. Yeah.
And so in terms of the way that the yarn is dyed, one is dyed at the end of the dye process, the MIJ 3. So it's first rope dyed in indigo, and then a little bit of green tint is added to that yarn to give it more of a green appearance. Whereas the MIJ 12, it's dyed a little bit green first and then indigo on top. So the green is revealed more as the denim fades. Also, the MIJ 12 is a lot more textured. It's a lot slubbier a denim. And that's going to give you a different fade experience overall.
MIJ 3 was like 14 ounce or something like that.
Yeah, somewhere 13 to 14 ounces.
I think MIJ 12 is heavier also. Heavier, much slubbier, darker, and less green to start with. Yeah.
I wish I had them both here to show you to compare, but I don't. But those are the main differences there. Chris Griffin writes, speaking of size, I'm loving the inseam of my long guy, as I am an amateur giraffe looking to go pro. Good for you. I'm glad that we got these jeans out to the appropriate people out there. Speaking of which, there was a great long guy post on the Instagram. Those have been shipping out to customers. Hold on, I'm just going to find it on the Instagram feed. And let me we'll scroll with you guys while we do this. So as you can see, a lot of great fit pictures here. So if you're ever curious to see what if you're ever curious to see what the Wonder Looper world is doing, you can do the same thing as I'm doing right here. Just go to our account, click on tagged, and go through everything, and you can see what people are wearing, how people are wearing it. And here we go, long guy. If it loads. Something like that. Internet, activate. There we go. So you can see here, Qua Inc. Anyhow, go and follow Mr. CWA.INK because he's got the long guys, and he tried them on. And I saw on a Reddit post that he's going to be wearing them for the, he even writes it here, planning on wearing them for the Indigo Invitational 2025. So these are going to be the craziest pair entered in that contest for sure. Look at that inseam. Now, whether you are an amateur giraffe, just super tall, or you want to wear them stacked up to infinity, the long guys, were there for you, and you should be there for them. You know what? There's a couple of pairs that are going to go up for sale. I think we made a few extra. We don't
size 34 and 31.
Okay, so we'll get those. We'll make it a little announcement.
Yeah.
There's not how many are there? Like 4?
4 total.
Yeah, 4 total.
Yeah.
So
3 and 1.
Yeah, if you missed out on the long guy, you might not have completely missed out. So there'll be a couple coming your way. And look at that! Look at that handsome guy. Look at the update on my dirty fades. Some fading quite nicely, I have to say. I've been posting more. I think I did 2 posts more recently, but I'm trying to keep. I'm trying to put some more progress photos on the my new Hooters sweatshirt. Good old vintage Hooters sweatshirt. Shout out to the good people at Hooters. And look at the fade progress here on these dirty fades. This is just, me at home wearing them, washing them regularly. And I think they're coming out quite nicely. Garrett's are also fading nicely as well. But just for comparison's sake, this was October. You can see not too much. This is around, was this around when I started wearing them? Must have been something like that. I got them maybe September? No, July it seems like I'm wearing them. Naked Famous Spring Summer 24 collection. Yeah, so are they coming up on a year? They're coming up on a year. So you can see that there has been quite a lot of change in that 1 year. That's 1 year of progress.
Yeah, and to be fair, you are not always wearing these. You are, sporadically wearing these.
They're my main driver, but I certainly wear my solid black still from time to time. So yeah, there's some progress for you. I'll try to keep some more progress photos coming. But if you want to share your progress on your jeans, be sure to share it here on Instagram. And we look at everything, and I think it's a great resource for everybody who's just looking for some inspiration in terms of outfits. This guy, I think he just got into raw denim, but he's been posting. Really, just load, please. He's been posting a lot lately with the groovy guy. It's not working. Sorry, my internet is it's good from time to time, but it's just not loading. Anyhow, you can see it if you looked in our tagged stuff, and
yeah, I mean, you guys can go see it yourselves.
You guys have the internet too. Yeah. So anyhow, just look through it and check it out. You'll see a lot of great outfits by a wide variety of folks, and you get some good styling and outfit, a range of outfits to look at, to compare. So there you have it. There you have it, folks. Okay. Ricardo writes, is there a way to stretch out the ankle on the Easy Guy? Everything else fits good, just need about a half an inch in the ankle. There's no real way to stretch it, but if you hem it, if they're long, just hem them. And that sharp taper gets a little bit wider. I mean, let's do my outfit for today. It's maybe hard to see from down here, but I'm wearing an Easy Guy, and I have hemmed them to like ankle length, so the leg opening is a lot wider. These are my solid black Selvedge. This is what I wore for the last Indigo Invitational, and you can see they've come along quite nicely. Wonder Looper Ultimate Pima T-shirt. Army HBT herringbone short coat. You can see the great texture on that one, and I've got it with an all metal G-Shock over here. So that's today's fit.
I think it's also if you like undo the hemming, the seam at the bottom, it might give you a little bit more room if that's like a problem. You know what I mean? Like it just goes because it's like 3 layers bunched up. So if you let go of that, it
might open it up a little
if
bit.
If it's too short for you, and then still need a little bit of room,
that's not a bad idea. Yeah, let the hem out, or maybe let it out and then do one fold and have somebody finish it with just a single fold finish.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I would suggest if you have the length, just hem them. And you'll open that up real easy. Nick Carpenter, Nick from Sean NYC checking in. What's up, BNR and everyone? Well, good to see you, Nick. What's up is the live stream, and it's just that much more better with you here. Nima writes, bought the MIJ 12, but noticed the size charts vary from Blue Owl and Tati and Yoko. Any reason why? Different retailers measure things a little bit differently.
If you're buying from Blue Owl, follow their guide. If you're buying from us, follow our guide.
Yeah, so there you go. Okay. Juan Puedo writes, hey guys, lucky I'm able to catch the stream this week. Been working too much overtime. Well, thanks for taking some time to join us and try to take it easy. A little bit of overtime is okay. You gotta pay those bills, make that money, but you also have to stay healthy and strong so that you can continue to make all that money. Brenton Henry writes, Brenton Henry replying to Nima writes, maybe Blue Owl copied over from a previous release. The Weird Guy and Easy Guy measurements have changed a good deal recently.
They measure
everything. So different retailers measure a little bit differently. Sometimes people pull things a little bit tighter. Sometimes people measure from different positions. So, check to see how they do their measurements. That's the best way. Okay. Christian Cox writes, if someone can get me an archival pair of Raver Guy, I will wear to the event. Christian, coming to New York, if we can get him an archived pair of Raver Guys, send me an email, Mr. Christian. Maybe, I know we have one that's for the archive. I don't know if we have another one somewhere. Anyway, I have to see. And we have to see if it's your size. Let me know. Writes W5 writes, could the lower side seams be unpicked and let out a little bit? Could the lower side seams be unpicked and let out a little bit? I mean, let out a bit, then resewn.
Oh, like on the Easy Guy?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. There's a very small amount of room, and
I would say that again, hemming it is probably the best. Like if you're cuffing it and you're getting like a 2-inch cuff, right? If you cut off an inch, it's not going to change that much about them. So, and then it'll open it up
Yeah, but I mean, if you want to take it to a tailor and talk to them about it, that's one thing. But at home, if you're gonna do that, then I think just hemming it is the easiest way.
Because if you're wearing it with a cuff and you want them to be open, even hemming them is not really going to change anything, because where you cuff them is where your problem is in terms of the leg opening.
I think they mean that like uncuff them and then open up the side seam and then give it a little bit more room. But then you have to do it from higher up.
You have to do it from higher up. Again, otherwise, it's going to look weird.
Taylor can probably figure out give you a little bit. But if you're not willing to do that, opening up the hemming, it's
also there's always a little give with fabric. Hit it with the steamer, just tug on it gently.
Yeah,
it's not going to be permanent, but it'll shrink up again in the wash. But just if you give it a little tug, you can probably get a little bit of extra room out of it. Try a few things. It's just
depends on what you need.
It won't harm the jeans.
Yeah.
Okay. Syed Vasti writes, I'm wondering if I can buy Weird Guy jeans and have them tapered to be like Levi's 511 fit, because I didn't like the high rise of the Easy Guy.
No. We don't do tailoring.
Well, we don't do tailoring. If he wants to go and buy a pair of jeans and have a tailor attempt to make them fit like something else, I'm going to go with it's not a good idea. Just buy jeans that fit you right. I think that the 511 is more of a skinny fit, and the Super Guy is probably the closest thing to that. But once you start Frankensteining jeans, you're going to end up with a Frankenstein, and not the Frankenstein denim, because that is a great jean. But I think you're going to spend too much money. It's a lot of work, and you're not going to be happy with the results.
Yeah, go with the Super Guy. Maybe size up or something, and you get a little more room in the thighs, and you know the leg opening would be smaller.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you know what? Maybe we should talk about, because this is a good topic. Getting your jeans tapered. Some people, some people do this. I don't recommend this really. And
that seems like also like kind of a little, like a previously
back
like a few
in the
years
day,
ago, like
people used to do that a lot. But just one thing to be aware of, this seam right here. So some of our inseams are overlocked, some of them are felled. If you have a felled seam like this, if you see it's closed, everything's folded in on itself, nice and neat. This is not something your tailor is going to be able to replicate. This is not something they're going to have fun altering. Mm-hmm. So, when you say, oh, well, I want you to taper it from the inseam, they're not going to taper it from the inseam, because that's not, this construction here, while very good, is very, very difficult to alter. They're going to want to taper it from the outseam, because this is very, very easy to taper from. But you're going to end up with two things. So what's going to happen is they're going to open up the hem. So all this stitching is going to go away. Then in here, just underneath here, they're going to open up this seam. So they're going to open up the seam that's going across the inseam. On the outseam, they're going to open this up all the way, and then they're going to start tapering. So they're going to either do it two ways. They're going to cut off the excess fabric, so you're going to lose that selvage, or they're going to keep it, and they're going to make that selvage really wide.
That's probably no more way to do it.
Probably. But then you're going to get a funky outseam, like with a super wide selvage. So that's what's going to happen. So again, I think the jeans generally end up looking a little funky. Don't do it. Just get the jeans that fit. Just get the jeans that fit. You probably don't need to taper them so much.
I think you also don't need to be so, like...
particular?
Yeah. This is a casual garment.
Yeah.
And I think people sometimes overthink this a little bit. just, go with the flow, go with what you got. And, I mean, obviously, once you buy jeans, it's yours. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, altering, like, especially if you're doing it yourself, it might be, like, a little fun project and stuff like that. I totally understand that. But, yeah, I mean, it's just the search for the perfect fit often does not involve, putting too much, things into it.
Right.
It's just, if you find a perfect fit, stick with it.
Yeah. Poor. I always screw that name up. Sorry, my friend. I got an inch removed from the waist of my Jasons, and they certainly had the scars. Yep. So if they're gonna do like waist alterations, usually what's gonna happen is like right here. They're going to open up the waistband. They're going to open up this seam. They're going to cut some fabric out, and then they're going to try to hide it underneath here. Or they're going to do like little darts back here. So they'll kind of, suck the fabric in. Not suck it in, but they're going to sew it up a little bit like this. And so you're going to have these two lines running like here and on the opposite side over here. So you're going to have these little sewing lines in on the yoke, and then they'll shorten the waistband accordingly. But you're gonna end up with a few little. Mm-hmm. It won't be so hidden. It's not gonna be that noticeable. But I think if you again, if the waistband isn't too big, just wear a belt.
Yeah.
Your shirt is gonna cover the waistband. You're not going to see any, that bunching is not going to be so apparent. It's going to look like this underneath your belt, but it's going to be underneath your belt. You're not really going to see what's happening there, and I think it's going to be fine. If you're, Vinny at Tate and Yoko, he like sizes up 4, just because he wants like a super wide leg in a true guy, and he just covers it up with a belt. He's able to do it.
Yeah, with that said, like. Again, like I'm currently wearing a super big jeans with the belt, which I have no problem with. But in the past, like I have like vintage jean shorts that I made into like a short that were way too big on the waist. So I did it, I did alteration myself. I just wanted to like kind of see if I can do it and then how to do it. I just watched YouTube videos. Obviously, I'm not a tailor, so like I'm just doing it, unprofessionally. But I learned a lot from that process, and I have no regrets. I actually like those, those shorts better now that like the waist fit and keeping the hip the same size and stuff like that. So I don't have any regrets, but it does show. Like it's it's a compromise regardless. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah, explore whatever you want. It's your jeans.
They are your jeans. That is true. If you want to cut one leg off and have one leg on, go for it.
Or you want to do those awful looking Margiela jeans kind of thing.
Yeah, just slice some air holes into the side right here. Yeah. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, luckily I'm seeing them less and less here in Japan.
It was a bigger trend last year.
I usually don't dunk on other brands, but let me pull it up for you guys because this was one of my hatedest trends ever. Because I don't know what the thought process is behind.
Go to images.
Yeah. Behind all these air vents. Look at these. Look, they just have air vents on the side. What is the point of this?
It's like the distressing as much as like we as a brand don't do it. Like I get the point. Whereas like this one is just like, what happened? Did you like try to make shorts and then like halfway you
gave up?
You gave up, and then because you cut one side, you cut the other side too. Like it just looks so weird.
And then, it just started. It started off in high fashion land, and then you just saw all the the copycats coming out,
and variations of it.
I just saw all these girls in Tokyo with pants like this, And
it's all over the world.
Yeah, but I live here, so this is the only place I see it. And I just didn't know what was going on. Like, why are these girls' pants sliced like that? And who's responsible for this? And it was everywhere. Nowadays, seeing it a lot less. But, boy.
Yeah, and I saw like a different variations of it where the slits are too high or slits are too low and like too big. It was just bad times.
Like, I could... I don't get it. Like, is this supposed to be sexy? Like, I don't know. Like,
but this actually was, kind of an interesting trend, I have to say. Like, because all of the, like, these, like, high-end brand, like, sometimes, like, the copycats are doing things that are very recognizable, whereas this one, it's just like, it got big really fast, and it's like some people, like, not everybody, like, people in the fashion industry probably knew that it came from Margiela, but like it wasn't like obvious. It wasn't like a play on logo or like something that you can see as graphic or something obvious. So I thought it was interesting as a humongous trend that it turned out to be.
No question. I'm impressed that they made all these people wear this, right? They didn't force anybody. They're just like,
it's like a mass
it's emperor's new clothes.
Yeah.
It's emperor's new clothes 100%. And sometimes I feel like these top or whatever, the top in terms of dollars, designers, they want to play with how dumb their audience is. I'm sure there's a room where they're just like, guys, we're going to come up with some dumb shit. That was me swearing. I shouldn't swear. We're going to come up with some silly ideas, and we're going to make some money. And let's laugh at our customers while we do it. There's got to be some kind of sadistic group of people here just trying to make the worst stuff possible just to see if they can make people wear it. It's
kind of a social experiment, or their ego of like, just like how much can we influence people.
To be fair, right,
they did a great job.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Impressed.
This is just my critique on the fashion world in general, is that it is so filled with how can I say it, vapid and unimpressive people that anything that is presented before these people, in order for them to like present themselves as not stupid, they just go with it. And so sometimes the dumber the idea, the more prolific it is to these people, because they have no ability to criticize or be critical of what is being presented in front of them. So the stupid, the boring, the lazy, the mundane to them is so impressive, because even that is impressive to them, because they have no baseline for understanding what is good or what is interesting. It is. I like fashion. I think we've got a very, very informed group of fashion connoisseurs here, but the general fashion audience is Zoolander. That is not a work of fiction. That is nonfiction. That is the truth. That is a documentary on the fashion world. 100%. 100%. But yeah, it's amazing to me what gets passed.
It's amazing to me what that catches on sometimes too. Like,
sure.
I think this is, to me, this is the most interesting trend because of that. It just like, it doesn't look like it's something that would catch on, but it did, and it became like overwhelmingly like everywhere. It was just insane why this particular like thing caught on. It's I don't know. Yeah, I just have to say it's interesting. Yeah. I'm not so critical about it. It's just that it's human psychology, like just playing it out in front of you in a very weird way.
Yeah, I'm critical of it because sometimes I have to be around some of these people, and it just the stupidity level drives me nuts. And I'm like, we are all supposed to be professionals here, and sometimes like.
But we're also business, right? Like, we need to make money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need to make money. I agree, and that's fine. I feel like at some point there was a reputation that was built on knowing and understanding and high quality and this and that reputation exists, and then it was all thrown out the window for like, who cares? They'll buy anything. Like, and it feels a little disingenuous where, the mall brand and the high fashion brand's quality and design don't really differ at all. And one person is telling you how fantastic this is and how, the mall is dumb. And I'm like, it's the same thing. It's like in the office, like corporate needs you to tell the difference between these two photos. And they're just like, all right. And I'm like, they're the same. They're no different. They are the same. They are not putting effort into this. This is a cash grab. This is not very interesting product. But
But in going back to that particular trend, I think it's like, it's something that they did. I don't find it to be like beautiful, but sometimes brands just do weird stuff because they feel like it. That's fine. And like, I think, to me, this trend in particular was more about like people who really like, got in, who just took that like a little random thing that they did and just ran with it, and it became so normal that like everybody who didn't even know where it came from accepted it as the trendy
but it's like ugly shoes. It's like at some point somebody decided ugly shoes were the cool thing to do. Let's see if we can sell some ugly shoes. And then the the influential types were like, hey, watch me, I can wear these terrible shoes, and I could pull them off. And then it just trickles down.
Yeah.
But
I mean, again, there's just different criticism, but this one in particular, I don't think it's the criticism on the brand. It's rather an interesting phenomenon that we saw.
Well, my critique of the brand is that it is, I personally, I find it to be a very silly,
yeah.
I don't. It's not. It's like me making fun of very, very unnaturally faded jeans. It's just like trashed and thrashed and like in unusual ways that don't look natural at all. Sometimes you'll see jeans that have just like, they're usually at the flea market or something like that, but they'll have like, distressing horizontally all along the front of the jean, like from the waist all the way down to the ankle, and I'm like, what's going on here? Like, what is this signifying? What happened? Right? They just look terrible, and to me, that's the same realm. If a big high fashion brand were to do exactly that, people would just simply accept it because they don't have the critical thinking ability to be like, well, that was a flea market find, like, and not a good way. But because somebody presented it on a nice plate, well, I guess it's high fashion now. People don't look at people in the industry who are maybe trendsetters, and that they don't look at something like that and think, man, I'm a sucker, right? Am I being a sucker right now? Is this interesting? Is this even good? Is this worth the effort? Is this what I should expect from, the great fashion house? This? That? Nonsense. I don't know. That's just my feeling on it. I'm very critical of that world. Christian Cocktrade, if someone buys me some Margiela side vent denim, I will also wear those to the event. Here's the thing. You can just cut slits into your pants yourself. You don't need their skilled artisans to do that.
No, but exactly, I think that's the point of that trend where it's just, I'm sure some people just started like cutting off jeans on their own, and obviously like it's easy for other brands to take on that look because again, it doesn't really
requires zero
craftsmanship. So I mean, I don't know,
which is why you found it from top end all the way to the bargain basement,
like,
right? You shouldn't be able to replicate that kind of stuff.
Phenomenon.
Bowie Donut 22 is the same as modern art. Duct tape a banana to a wall and make tons of money. Take a pop icon character. Every time I see pop art just around, it's always like cartoon character, $, cash piles, luxury logo. Mash any of those three things together, you've got pop art. And I'm like, again, sometimes we'll go to some art thing and I'll see some just terrible art, and I find it terrible because it is so corporate logo with
Well, I think those are just horrible because it's most of the time it's just so not original. It's been done 500 times before, and that's why I think this is also similar in a way that whatever Margiela did, originally it's just like, I'm sure they sold a ton of jeans because of that, but it was kind of like derivative brands who just imitated it, and people who just caught on, that just made this trend even worse than what they did. What they did was just random stuff, and it's like, wait a minute, this is just everywhere now.
Right. There's no originality there. But anyhow, don't get me started on modern art. Some of it is interesting, but some people shouldn't quit their day job. Although I have a friend who once told me that, and this is great. This is a great piece of advice. Not everything has to be, the best. Not everything has to be the best. You go to the bookstore and there's only a couple of bestsellers in there, but the bookstore is filled with books.
Yeah.
He's like, you could be one of those books. You could be one of the mediocre books that fills the shelves, and you've got yourself a business or whatever it is that you do.
Yeah. But like a lot of things, like art even, it's just like, it doesn't need to be good. Like, if you like it and if you want to spend money on that, then it doesn't need to be universally appraised also. It's and that's the whole point of like modern art now. Like, the people who are buying it are not the people who appreciate it, people who buy it because you think this is gonna this is like a hot artist.
Well,
and then
there's a lot of speculative market in the
and then
art
that's
world.
why the market goes up and up, which I that aspect of modern art is horrible. But if you like a certain art and it's within your budget, and if you want to look at it all the time, then why not?
Sure. Right. Christian Cox, I saw some really bad DIY distressing on an actual vintage denim in Harajuku. Just kind of rips off in a checkerboard pattern, looks very corny. Right. And again, I think this audience could look at something corny or something poorly done and decipher that. But our fashion leaders sometimes are not able to do that. There's not a lot of dunking in that world, I'm gonna say, because there's a lot of money tied up in advertising. Magazines, now blogs and things like that. You don't get highly critical things of these kinds of collections because, hey, you're gonna rip on my brand. Well, I put in $100,000 a month on advertising in your magazine, or across your magazines, probably millions of dollars every month. So you're not going to say an unkind thing about the kind of products that we sell. These are the top trends because they pay us a lot of money to say that. That is the reality of the fashion marketing world. There's no way around that.
Yeah, but if you're like you guys who are paying attention, there's a lot more information out there now too. So you can,
right. The truth,
educate yourself a lot easier.
Is more readily available through independent media. You're gonna have a much wider variety of opinion than here are the top 5 carry-on bags for spring/summer 24.
Yeah, or here it's the highest quality things. It's like before, it's hard to tell what is high quality because you don't know too much about what goes in. But now, you can kind of collect information and decide if it is actually high quality or not.
And you can hear it from a person who actually the fashion journalist. I'm gonna say most of them, 99%, they don't know nothing.
They get
the press release.
Their job, so
they get the press release. They regurgitate the press release. Yeah. We're done.
Yeah.
Okay. Their job is to pump out articles, not to pump out critique or anything of value.
Yeah.
Whereas online, you can find the leather bag guy, and he's gonna critique leather bags. And guess what? He knows about leather bags. So when he talks about them, he can talk about them with some sort of, authority. Mm-hmm. And he might have a varying opinion from another leather bag guy. But between those, you can kind of decipher what makes sense or what's valuable to you. Mm-hmm. Of course, they don't have the reach as some of these, corporately run press, organizations. But the world is changing. The independent voice is growing. That's for sure. JR writes, YouTube reviews are great, right? Because, again, somebody's going to spend 10, 15, 20 minutes talking to you about one thing. That's a lot. That's a lot of time. You don't even get that much time, on the nightly news. If there's a murder, in your neighborhood, they won't even give that much time, 10 minutes. Whereas here you get 10 minutes on a button fly detail, Anyhow. Okay. So that was a great segue. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna call it a segue because what are you guys gonna do? It's my show. Into magazines talk, because I did find some magazine stuff that would be worth exploring. Because this is a magazine, Japanese magazine called Nano, from February.
Men's
Nano from February 2006. So Nano is a generally a ladies magazine.
It started off as Nano is a women's magazine, and then they made a men's version of it.
So this is February. So these were the up and coming raw denim trends.
Well, it was up and coming in
2006. In 2006, that was an up and coming look. And I have to say that this was a very Bahzad look, probably in this era. No question about it. I had skinny jeans and suspenders on,
A fedora.
Yeah, I definitely had a fedora. I definitely had this look. Maybe not with the vest, but with a t-shirt or something, that would have been me. Notice skinny jeans are coming up. This is the kind of the cutting edge here of
raw and skinny
mm-hmm. of what's coming up. So the next page here, I guess interestingly, has a lot of raw jeans that just to look at. Some
different stylists are recommending certain brands.
Some flared and boot cut options are still they're still prevalent. I like seeing these flared ones. And you know what's odd? Some of these brands are just like in raw denim land of now, there's a lot of brands that are named here that I've either never heard of or you never saw them again. Raw brands come and go very, very quickly in this industry, and it's interesting to see. Liquor, Women, and Tears was a popular trend of branding. Young, fabulous, and broke, rich and skinny. That It was like
Naked and Famous.
Naked and Famous. Yeah, that's it. So that was we were part of that naming trend for sure. Discovered Blue Denim. Discovered Blue Denim. Interesting name. And here's some styling, which I would say up until recently was, I would say semi-relevant. I mean, I'm sure we still see outfits maybe more on this page a little bit more often today. Maybe less vests, but that fit, whether it's 2006 or 2023, I think it still goes pretty hard. Except for his posture, I think that's a pretty all right fit. The blazer, those distressed blazers, remember wearing those in the 2000s? I haven't thought about distressed blazers in a while.
Everything is distressed.
Yeah.
Distressed sneakers.
There still are distressed sneakers.
That's true.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was very big.
Right. Clothed and Unknown. All right, great name. I was definitely tripping over my overlong, tattered flares in 2006. 2006 era, yeah, I definitely had some bootcut jeans with, I called it cancer of the jean, where I was just eating away at the back of the leg there, because everybody did it. Everybody wore their jeans long, and they dragged on the ground.
It was like a nerdy look.
Yeah.
Like, people didn't like that.
Right. This look, I mean, this has sort of a cutout in the leg here. This guy right here. But you can see how he's wearing his jeans dragging on the back. We all did that. We all dragged our jeans. I think, I don't know, I guess we all just decided collectively that wasn't the way to go anymore. But look at these blazers. Those are something.
Thank goodness for that, because that was gross if you think about it. You're dragging your jeans in the like streets or like even like washrooms and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
everywhere. We don't do this anymore though. Weird blazer jackets and raw denim jeans. Definitely a look. This was definitely a look for a long time. But yeah.
It's not a weird blazer, but in Japan you still see a lot of raw denim paired with the blazer, like a more clean look. That doesn't really, like, you don't see that much of that in the West anymore. It's more of a casual, like, flannels and t-shirts and stuff. But
yeah, it was all replaced by flannels.
I think people got way more casual today than 20 years ago.
We kind of went right. I think people tried to dress up the raw denim look a little bit.
Yeah, because the raw denim is like so clean and crisp, and like you wanted to present it as more of like a,
refined
like
thing.
Yeah, like it's casual. It's still jeans, but it's not your dad's jeans. It's not your suit look either. It's just like you're just like a kind of like a elevated casual.
But we reverted, like, as far as the tops go, nowadays I think we all reverted back to the classics. Like, we're not, like, raw denim isn't this thing that we're trying to like experiment with so much. It has mostly fallen into like, we're gonna stick to Americana, preppy, heritage, and like, within that, maybe a little bit of militaria, but like it's all that world. Instead of like being like, I would say even in hip hop anymore, you don't really see raw denim being worn I have to find some photos and some magazines. I gotta dig. I think when we go back to Montreal, I might have some like 90s and early 2000s era magazines where I could try to dig up some like 90s hip hop raw denim looks, which we never really thought of it as raw denim looks, the way we think of raw denim today. But there was a lot of chore coats, a lot of just clean dark jeans, a lot of workwear being worn. And if you wear those outfits today, you just kind of look like a heritage guy. But they wore it in such a street kind of aggressive way, and they had their own way about it. But yeah, raw denim, we're not seeing like, oh yeah, well, raw denim, match it up with a blazer, or we're not seeing that too much anymore. It's all kind of went back to like,
denim is casual.
Yeah, denim is casual.
And
yeah,
like you just
Keep it casual.
Old school American look.
Right. And then here's a couple of, let's check this out. Just some of these brands you might recognize, but some of them not so much. But here's some of the fits that were popular at the time. A lot of boot cuts in here, I'm going to say. Very boot cut heavy. But yeah, skinny jeans were... This is really, I think, around this time was the death call of boot cut until kind of these days, where more of a straighter leg has come back. A little bit of a wider straight has come back. Because up, like right here, this era is when the skinny jean came and it planted its flag and said, I'm going to own all of jeans for the next almost 2 decades. And it did. And I don't think skinnies are completely dead.
No, but it's on the decline. Whereas, like, this was on the up and the start of it.
Yeah. This is where it started to come in. Here's some interesting... here's some street looks from Glasgow. Here's what the trendy people were wearing in Glasgow. Oh, hold on. Let's see if I can pull this up nicely. At the time, some of these are they're perfectly fine today. I think this guy, for example, that's a pretty clean look. Yeah, but the blazer. I mean, he is wearing a blazer. That's to be fair, but. Yeah, you don't really see that too often anymore. Yeah. There you go. Some interesting looks here. If we were... I guess I could really tell that this was 2000s era from looking at it. This is a look you don't see anymore. Wowzers. This is definitely time machine. You know, when I was a kid, we would always look back and think, oh, those are some terrible outfits from, like, the 80s. And this is what the early 2000s kind of oddball guy looked like. He tried to be a little too retro. It's that fedora that really throws it off. And this, although, I feel like works today. Still no problem. That's what a vintage guy looks like. I am a vintage dealer. That's him. All right. Look at this one. That's a 2000s guy. If it was only a Von Dutch hat, it really would have completed the look. Who remembers dressing like this? Good times. Wow, that is very, very on point for the time. Cool. Well, Javier Jimenez, we appreciate your contribution to the fashion world. Joy Decay writes, bring back cardigans. And Christian Cox, Bruno Mars core. Bruno Mars core. Is that a thing? I guess it is now. Joy Decay with the right message. Hit the like button, everybody. Hey.
Enjoy the trip down the memory lane.
Yeah, if you enjoyed that little trip down memory lane.
This is 18 years ago.
18 years ago.
Some of you probably were just born.
Yeah, or you were babies. You're very young. 18 years ago. I'm glad I kept all of this stuff. Here's some Osaka core. To be fair, some of this stuff is still...
Japan tends to hold on to a lot of fashion trends. There are always people who hold on to that one trend.
Yeah. Like this guy. Oh wait, this guy right here. That's every day here. Yeah. I still see that every single day here.
Yeah. Like as fashionable as some people are in this country, there are a lot who just get stuck at some point in their lives. Maybe that's their funnest times.
Yeah, that was the look for them. I feel like this was a little bit me in high school, right there. Big old wide pants. I like that.
But like this guy, he would like be fine today.
Yeah.
Like I would be still like a kind of a, regular guy today. It's
yeah, interesting. Yeah, and this one also very everyday Japan. That is a everyday Japan look. Is in the fall for sure with that vest. Interesting to see. Yeah, it's good to look back at these. I have to find more of my street snap books. That I just remember, the reason why I loved a lot of these Japanese magazines was for the street snaps. Because that was the only way I got to see what was going on in the world. Nowadays, there's a lot of YouTube content from like all over the world, New York, Tokyo, Seoul, wherever. Street snaps. It's like, street interviews. What are you wearing? Tell us about your outfit, that kind of stuff. I really enjoy that kind of content because it's up to the week. Before I'd have to import these and I would only get them so often. And so there was only just so much information I could get in terms of like who's wearing what and where. But now you can really keep an eye on like what's going on anywhere in the world, which I think is pretty cool. Shang Sao, Brandon still wears cardigans a lot. Cardigans or blazers with Easy Guy. Yeah, Brandon is a cardigan blazer guy. I guess he found his thing and he stuck to it, which is fine. You're allowed to do that. Many of us will do it. Okay. Nick Carpenter, that one dude's got a big Lebowski sweater. Yeah, the big sweater is always a nice thing to wear. I have a couple of giganto sweaters.
But like that look, that was like kind of like
hobo
Ron Herman look, like or the surfers, like that kind of guys are wearing that. Like I think they still do, to be fair. It's just blue jeans with like a big chunky sweater and just I don't know. I totally.
Hold on, let me try to find that.
Yeah,
look again.
The Osaka page.
Even that is kind of in the realm. Mm-hmm. That's a cool look. This guy. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
This guy right here
is very Ron Herman.
Yeah, but I still think this is like
no Ron Herman. Wait, Ron Herman? No, Ron Herman. Yeah.
I would wear this. That's a nice fall day outfit. I like that. Or like this one. Even this page. I really like this guy's poncho. I like his hat and his hair. Really, I think that with some raw denim jeans, that's a cool outfit. That poncho is cool. I'm down with that. What do you guys think? Yeah, there you go. The Raven, I'm definitely stuck with sports coats and leather jackets. Not that I mind. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like as a adult, you go through like phases where you're trying to find your style, and then you kind of get your style, and it's just like there's no reason for you to move on from there sometimes. So it's fine.
Yeah, right. Once you got it, you got it. Jeremy Didson writes, when is the fall winter video coming out? Next week? No, not next week. It'll come out probably in July. So you got a couple of weeks. To wait for that one. Okay. All that talk about MIJ 12 earlier was just too tempting. I ordered a pair. You only live once, right? You only live once. There was another thing. I forget where I heard it from. I don't know. But basically, you can't take it with you. So you might as well enjoy it while you're here on Earth. Mm-hmm. So, look, don't go broke.
Yeah.
Live within your means, but enjoy your time while you're here.
But we also all learned in the past few years that like the money that you think you're saving could mean almost nothing in the matter of a few years. You know what I mean? Like it's just everything is twice as expensive now. It's like, okay, well, like you might as well enjoy it back then.
100%. I will tell you this as someone who has put in a lot of hours into working, a lot of time saving money, and then that pesky inflation kicks in, and all of a sudden the money that you work so hard for is worth less. Is worth less and less. And so
you wouldn't have missed it, that money,
right?
like, you know, whatever, $200 that
right, the extra couple of bucks here and there you would have spent on something. You know what? It's going to get. This is libertarian Bahzad coming out. They're gonna steal it from you one way or another. You might as well enjoy as much of it as you can, because they're just gonna keep skimming it off the top, whether it's with taxes or inflation. They're gonna get you, and
not to say you can.
Don't be reckless.
Whatever you want,
you know,
you have to have a plan.
Yeah.
But, you know.
But yeah, my Canadian savings. Thanks, Trudeau. That's all I have to say about that. Keep savings in a form that grows or at above inflation is the goal. That said, buying clothing that lasts longer is never a bad idea. Yeah, the less you have to replace stuff, the better.
You know, like if you enjoy it, you're going to get more use out of it.
Yeah, but enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. I spent a lot of my life scrimping and saving. And look, you got to do that. You got to have some nest egg, okay? You got to have a rainy day fund.
You have a know longer term goal, like buying a home or buying a car or something like that. But
keep those things in mind. But the little extra if you're gonna spend $20 more on the steak dinner, spend it. Just enjoy your life. You don't know when it's gonna end, and at the end you're not gonna miss it.
Old man Bahzad's life lesson.
This is it. I spent too much time worrying about too little money, and when I could have spent a little bit more and got a lot more out of life.
See, he's wearing glasses, so he's smarter
This
today.
is the Professor Bahzad is here. That's just my personal experience, but yeah, I've let loose a little bit lately. Jeremy Dixon, buy that first class flight. I'm not there yet. I'll tell you that much. I'll spring for the bulkhead. Okay, sometimes bulkhead is like a extra $100, $125. Premium economy, if it's reasonable, but that business class flight, I am not there. I'll tell you that much.
But it's also like a value, thing where like, where do you put your value? Like, do you want to spend extra couple $100 on comfortable seats for the next, 10 hours or whatever? Or do you want to buy a nice meal when you get there for extra $200? Like, you can decide which one you prefer more and what's the better for you.
Right.
I think when it comes to trips, it might be a good idea to have a budget, just because like you could go really like nuts. It's like, oh, I'm only here for 2 weeks. I can and then it's just like credit card bill.
Like the business class flight from Tokyo to like Montreal or Toronto, New York area, it's like $8,000.
Yeah, I mean it's a big. that's not a.
And there's two of us. That's not happening. Okay.
Yeah, you can't just have one business class.
And you can't share. It's not like you can be like, hey, okay, now you go sit. No.
Yeah, they don't like.
They don't like that. So live within your means. Ultimately, live within your means, but splurging every now and then, spending a little extra to get a lot more. Sometimes those things are nice. Spending a lot more to get a little more, that's when you're in enthusiast land. That's you're buying some headphones or some. Even like, look, a nice pair of headphones might cost. A good pair of headphones these days I feel is like $200 to $300. An extra nice pair of headphones is $500, $800. After that, actually, once you get to the $500, $800 price point for headphones,
there's a diminishing
tremendous diminishing returns. Like the $200 to $300 price range, you are good. Like that is already the top 99% of headphones. Mm-hmm. Anything beyond that, only do it if you've whatever. If it matters that much to you, and anything over $1,000 for a headphone, like you're either a professional with a golden ear, or you just have a lot of money and hey, you do whatever you want. But yeah.
But to that point of MIJ 12, it was a nice thing that we had enough stock for people to like be like not, because like the problem with like a very popular release is that like you're kind of like pressured to make a decision right there and you know then, but you know with the release that has carries the inventory a little bit, it's nice because people can actually think about it. It's like, do I really need this? And then and if it's still there, and if it's still in your mind, then maybe you can splurge afterwards, after like all the excitement of release is gone.
Right.
So
yeah.
I like that about MIJ 12.
Nicholas Vilpu, but a Rolex Neo Vintage prices are at a 5-year low. All right. Well, there you go. If luxury watches, look, I'm not one of those watch guys who's I buy it, I'm gonna sell it, I'm gonna worry about the value of it. If I'm gonna buy a watch, I'm gonna wear the watch. It's not going up for sale. It's gonna get given to a relative at some point. That's the trajectory of that. There are people who use watches as an investment. I'm gonna wear it. It's gonna hold its value. I'm gonna sell it one day. If you want to play that game, that's cool. It's not for me. But if you're in that game and somebody's got a watch that they need to take a loss on, and that happens to be the watch that you like, go and snag yourself a deal on that watch. But try not to pay too much money for a watch. They're, they can get very expensive. They can get very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But ultimately, enjoy the things that you buy. Don't just buy them to let them collect dust. Don't buy them so that they're going to be the brand new jean for the next generation. If your kids are going to take your old clothes, I think they would appreciate clothes that you wore, that you enjoyed, because those are the things that have meaning to them. But the brand new pair of jeans that you never wore, maybe it's nice for the collection, but it could be that one vintage treasure that you loved and it was your precious that you never wanted to touch and use, but
all that matters that like would it make you happy? And if the answer is yes.
Yeah, like Marie Kondo says, if it sparks joy, don't throw it away. Is that what she says?
I think you hold on to the things that sparks joy in you. I think that's her lesson.
I see.
I hate that I know that.
And then you have to bow and thank all the things that you throw away. Is that a Japanese tradition?
I don't know.
You don't want to comment on that.
I don't.
It's not. It's
like
just.
Her. I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't know why, but she bothers me so much. Though her message of holding on to things that make you happy, spark joy.
You'll go with it. You like it.
It's a good advice.
All right.
To be fair.
Rice W5. I own 2 expensive Panerais. Otherwise, I'd never experienced them. Money, just notes, and I own 2 expensive Panerais. Otherwise, I'd never experience them. Money, just notes, and coins. I'm not sure if I get what you're trying to say here. Maybe you got them through, maybe they were given to you and you got to experience them that way. Otherwise, maybe you wouldn't have, which is always kind of nice when something is handed down to you in that respect. But yeah, money, you never know. You never know what happens to money one day. Let's thankfully we're in I don't know, anyways, we're generally peace times, and let's try to stay there so we can have some more stability in the world. And always encourage more stability, because when things aren't stable, things go nuts, and all the bad things that go with that. Mike Knight writes, I'm in the movie business and work has been scarce here in LA, so no new jeans for me right now, but hopefully in the fall, things will pick back up. Well, Mike Knight, I pray to you, I pray for you that things pick up, and yeah,
sure will.
And good things will come to you, and everyone here will also do the same. So let's all send our positive energies to Mike Knight and anybody out there who's needs a pickup. We're here to pick you up. We're positive. The power of positivity will compel you. That's Preacher Bahzad. Power of positivity. Okay, speaking of the power of positivity, that was the segue to snack time, because this is going to be one positive snack time. You see how I did that? That is the power of positivity. You can turn anything into a segue if you just believe in it. And this is going to be a very, very good snack time because we found something weird. But weird in a way that I think it's going to be delicious.
I'm excited about this.
Risa is excited. We've been excited. We found this last Sunday.
We have a new grocery store in the neighborhood, and that grocery store seems to have a lot of interesting things that we've never seen before.
Yeah. And this is one of them.
So this is Yukimuro shoyu gelato. So, oh, sorry, this one. So it's a shoyu specially made, like mild shoyu.
Soy sauce.
Soy sauce, yes. Gelato. So it's an ice cream, basically. Gelato.
Yeah.
Taste made from soy sauce.
So there we go. I've never had that. And I think soy sauce in frozen dessert form sounds delightful.
Surprisingly, it does not have the color of soy sauce. I thought it would be more brown, but it looks very...
Well, vanilla-y.
Yeah, like white, ivory.
So
okay.
we'll give it a shot. It's fresh out the freezer, so...
It smells like shoyu.
It does.
Yeah. But it's sweet, like sweet shoyu.
Okay, let's
do it.
Let's do it. I just squished it a little bit to try and add a little...
It's gelato, so it's not as like hard, which I like.
Okay,
also.
So there we go. Nice spoonful of it there. Yeah, very vanilla-esque in look. Salty.
It tastes like vanilla.
It tastes like salty vanilla.
Aftertaste is very shoyu though.
Yeah.
The
soy sauce taste just sits on your tongue the entire time.
Mm-hmm. But when you put it in your mouth, it's a lot of sugar. It's a lot of milkiness. So it kind of overpowering flavor. In the beginning, is more like a regular like creamy ice cream.
It kind of like it reminds me of a salty caramel, but a lot saltier.
But the aftertaste is very strong note of soy sauce.
Yeah, this is very good, ridiculously good. Yeah, this is a.
Yeah, I get your salty caramel
right?
taste. Like it also does have that like a.
It's just like a mix of intense sweet and intense salty. It's a very nice blend.
Wow, it's great.
So I'm gonna vote with my dollars with this one, and I'm gonna buy more of this. On a scale of 1 to 10, on the ice cream delicious factor, 0 through 10, 10 being perfect, this is a solid 8-1.
I was gonna go 7-9.
High rank.
I was gonna go 7-9 because I'm not the biggest fan of like vanilla, like milk flavor, but this has like a strong note of that. But I appreciate that. Like it's just it's perfect.
It's a complex taste.
Yeah.
I really enjoy this.
But it's not pushing it.
No, it's not pushing it.
It's not like in your face, like weird.
I don't think you'll ever find an ice cream like this outside of this country. And even in this country, it's a random find. Okay, well.
All right,
there
I'm
you
impressed.
Have it, everybody. Soy sauce ice cream. If you come across it, try it out. It sounds weirder than it tastes, and it tastes very good.
It tastes very good.
All right, let's round things up here. We'll check in with a couple more questions, then we'll wrap up this live stream here today. Jiyon writes, is it considered cheating if I wash my jeans multiple times to make them fade? Is it considered cheating?
You have to wash it multiple times.
Yeah.
You wear it all the time. Oh, like you...
Let me put it to you this way. There are no... The denim police, they don't really exist. So they're not going to knock on your door and arrest you for falsifying denim fades. So...
If that's the case, a lot of the population is in jail.
Yeah. So, that said, my general feeling about cheating and not cheating is, if it's something that you do, if it's a regular part of your life, even if it's an irregular part of your life, maybe you went, hiking and you don't really go hiking, but you went hiking, that's fine. That's just normal life activities, right? That's okay. When you start doing things that are out of your ordinary, you hit it with the sandpaper, that's not normal. Like, sometimes you gotta wash your jeans twice. Sometimes they're just, the stain didn't come out or whatever it is, they gotta go on the machine twice. That happens, right? But if you put your jeans in the wash 50 times in a row because you're like, well, I want my jeans to fade, well, then that's not part of regular wear and tear, right?
Yeah.
So it's more of a, I'm gonna say, feeling than it is a hard rule. And this week at Tate and Yoko, Vincent seemed to think that Garrett was cheating with his fades by wearing his jeans to the climbing gym. Garrett goes climbing, and Garrett goes climbing in jeans. Garrett lives in his jeans.
Yeah.
That is not abnormal for him.
And thinking that, I want to fade this jeans, so I'm going to wear, even if, last week I went climbing with my shorts on, but this week I want to wear this because I'm kind of into fading this, then that's fine. I think that's not cheating. That's just maybe you're wearing it more just so for the sake of seeing more progress on your jeans. I think that's not at all cheating. Yeah, like you said, if you feel like you're doing something just for the sake of fade and not even part of your life normally.
Yeah.
You know what cheating is, I think. It's in your heart.
Yeah.
If you feel like it's cheating, then it's probably cheating.
Listen to your heart.
Yeah.
Okay? Only the denim world can work out what is considered cheating. Coin writes.
But we don't want to be this kind of group where it sets strict rules.
Yeah.
That's not a fun world.
There are some fades that look too... I've seen a lot of fades in my life. Some of them look a little too good to be true. And they probably are. If I was on the stand at a court case and they brought me in as an expert, I think I could confidently, diagnose what went into fading a jean. But like anything, no expert in their field is always going to be 100% right.
Yeah,
right?
And also at the end of the day, expert is just going to point out to the possibility of things being cheating or things not being cheating, or whichever side. But ultimately, you decide, right?
Yeah.
You are the jury of your
you're just look at the end of the day, you cheat yourself. I don't care what you do to your jeans. You know?
Yeah,
I don't care.
We don't
Yeah.
have the Olympics of fading either,
Right.
so
You know.
there's no need for a set rule.
You have to wear your jeans and you have to enjoy them, and if that means you're gonna take the sandpaper to it, go nuts. Yes. Have a great time.
Sometimes you want to see what it feels like. It's fun.
When I was young and new to raw denim, I was impatient. And I remember buying a pair of raw denim jeans, and I had already faded a pair, so I bought a new pair, and I was very eager to get them faded.
Earthquake.
Is there an earthquake? Yeah, a little one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is the first live stream earthquake. It's not a big one, but our lights over there are shaking pretty good. I was eager to get fades, and I remember I carried my pocket knife around with me, and I would just like scratch my jeans, and I would do it a little bit, and and then I got really impatient, so I took some sandpaper and I started rubbing the knees and this and that, and all of the fades became very uneven and unnatural. Like it went from like really, really dark portions to like really, really light portions, and you didn't really have that proper like gradient spread. Like if you look at my knee here, you can see like there's a lot of different shades going on here, and there's a lot of different veins. This is not something you're gonna replicate so easily, right? You could take a sandpaper and fade it, and then you'd have, you know, a faded portion, but there's just something about the little micro nuances in a faded denim that is very, very hard to replicate. Mm-hmm. And I just remember hating that pair. Mm-hmm. I didn't wear them. I probably have them still in my mom's house somewhere, but I took a brand new pair of jeans and I destroyed them by not being patient and working out the process. But look, that's how you learn sometimes, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's not something I would look. If it's normal daily operation, go for it. If it's anything that you wouldn't normally do,
I think the short answer is listen to your heart. Like you know what's cheating. Yeah. You also make up the rules. So
yeah. Joy Decay writes, my heart says I need more work-oriented elephant bibs. Your heart's not wrong. Your heart is not wrong. Topher Cobra writes, this conversation sounds like a natural bodybuilders versus enhanced bodybuilders.
I'm sure.
But I'm going to say that at least enhanced bodybuilders, they get that, they get that enhanced physique, but it doesn't.
Yeah, like, because what you're doing as a natural bodybuilder is trying to be as, like,
godlike in physique as possible, I guess.
Which is possible, a lot easier and more possible with drugs enhancing.
With enhancements.
Things. Yeah, so like I think with jeans, what you're going for is the natural look.
Yeah.
Even when you enhance it, what you're trying to be is the natural. Yeah. So it's
but when you enhance it, I find that you actually achieve the opposite. It doesn't look natural. It looks very artificial. Mm-hmm. But I guess enhanced bodybuilders to the bodybuilding community also look unnatural.
Unnatural, but like it kind of like the idea is that way though, no? It's like it does help.
Yeah.
It helps.
You know, as someone who has no muscles, I don't have a lot of expertise in this field.
They like everything. There's room for debate and varying opinions, and it's kind of fun to explore that.
Yeah, Junior, enhanced bodybuilders die young. Yeah, it seems when you put too many things into your body.
Yeah, health is the most important thing, for sure. So don't like swim in a bath of chlorine for fades.
Don't do it.
That's not good.
Not good. BD writes, a life loved how you want. A life lived how you want, no matter what. It's your journey. I figured unless you're in a contest that's laying down rules, it's all you, right?
I agree with that.
Yes, hopefully.
Yeah. If you're like participating in a contest with a strict set of rules, then those are the rules.
Yeah.
But other than that, outside of that, there's no.
And if you are cheating in one of those fading contests, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
What's the point?
Why? What? Like, let me put it to this way: the prize is another pair of jeans, right? It's not like you're competing for like glory and like, you know.
But wasn't there like a thing with like a trip to somewhere?
Oh, occultism is having a contest where there is a trip
to Japan.
There is a prize, okay? Yeah. But like, look, this is all community driven, right? We all like what we like, and if you're one of these little butts that that is cheating,
it's very sad.
It's very sad. Don't do it. And we all know. We all can see it. Okay? And ultimately, what you do when you cheat in one of these fading contests is that you drive people who want to participate in these things out of wanting to participate. Because why? Why would they want to participate in this in this thing where there's clearly cheaters? And unfortunately, it might be clear to me that there's cheating going on, but it's very impossible to put that out there.
Yeah, they're not going to put a 24-hour camera on you while you're participating.
So this is a complete honor system, and the judging is going to be based on we're going to trust you, and don't take advantage of that trust because you're ruining the contest for everybody, and the prize is just a pair of jeans. It's just a pair of jeans, okay? It's not going to change your life. This isn't a Slumdog Millionaire situation, okay? It's just another pair of jeans. So respect the competitors that you're competing with, and if you want the world of raw denim, the hobby that you love, that you proclaim to love and enjoy, to grow, it ain't going to grow if you're cheating in that contest. Because the people who are working hard, just trying to do an honest day's work of fading their jeans, they're gonna look at that and say, "Well, I'm not gonna be a part of this." You know, they're not gonna not wear raw denim anymore, but they're not gonna be part of this, you know, great community group thing that we've got going on. And it's a small number of like always, it's always just a small number of people, but.
But I would also think that you're doing it for yourself, right? Like you're doing it so that you can, like, you know, enjoy this journey. So like, if you lied and cheated, like you're cheating yourself from this experience too. I don't know. Anyways. Yeah,
Gian writes, "I'm losing weight and it's hard to keep the pleats in my pants the same position." That's okay. You know what?
That's also part of it.
That's part of it. You're losing weight. Your jeans are changing the way that they wear on you. That's you. Like, inevitably, at the end of the day, when that jean fades and you see, hey, these are the creases when I was maybe bigger, and these are the creases where I was smaller, that all represents your story. Faded jeans don't all have to look one way. We all have our own journey. Right?
And like oftentimes all these like super old, you know, gold rush times vintage that you dig out of a mine or whatever, like they have like multiple people wearing it, and that creates like a really interesting phase. Like there's like a knee place in, you know, 2 different places. Like we're actually creating that with me wearing what you faded, and I'm continuing to fading. Like
I outgrew these jeans and they fit Risa, and now Risa's continuing the fade journey.
Yeah,
right.
And it's kind of like it's all gonna be a story at the end.
I don't think that's cheating.
No.
Right? This is our natural life progression. This is what happens. So there you go. You be the judge of it. But if you are intentionally trying to enhance your fades, stop, and then your cheating will be part of your natural progression. You know, stop. There's always time to stop your dastardly deeds, and now is the day to do it. If you are one of those people and you're watching, hey, just stop. That's it.
Enjoy that journey.
Yeah. Okay, the Raven writes, find it so strange to cheat because only an enthusiast would know about the competition, and typically someone into raw denim wouldn't want cheated fades.
You would think.
You'd think. Okay, everybody, we're going to leave it here. I think that was a good place to put it.
That was a very interesting conversation, I think.
There you go. So if you'd like to hear more conversations, in-depth raw denim conversations, the deepest depths of raw denim conversations, you guys know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, tell a friend about us. Somebody in your life is probably getting into raw denim for the first time. Introduce them to this live stream. We'd love to have them here. And have yourselves a nice weekend, a nice evening. Do something nice for yourself. Spend a little money on yourself. Do something nice. Do something nice for yourself. Do something nice for others. Buy a Snickers bar for somebody. Somebody will appreciate it. And tell your mother you love her. Okay? And we'll see you guys in the next video. All right. Bye, everyone.